for this effect, the spectator can take the deck and they can give it a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the deck, I would ask the spectator to go ahead and cut the deck in half and go ahead and hold on to the half for themselves. Let's say they do that right now. So I would explain to the spectator that we're going to play a little game here. So we're going to go under the table and we're going to choose a card that we're going to remember. So I don't want to see the spectator selection, and the spectator doesn't want to see my selection. So because you're the spectator, you're just going to see your selection. So they can shuffle their half first. It doesn't matter. Let's say they take this card. Now, I don't want to see it, but here it is. Go ahead and remember that. So once the spectator has remembered their card, they can set it down here. And now I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna actually take out a card as well. Shuffle the deck, so there should be no more face-up cards. We'll give it a cut, and here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this card out. So the spectator is going to take their selection, and they can place it somewhere in my half. Let's say about here. I'll take my card and I'll place it somewhere in the spectator's half. And the last thing we're going to do here is actually give these a shuffle. So I think if we do it just like this, we push in the two halves, we give them one cut, face up to face down. All I have to do is snap my fingers, and if we go through, you're going to see that there's two cards face down. Now, I don't know what the spectator selection was, but I do know that my selection was the 5 of spades. So here's the first card, here's the second card. So hopefully that one of these cards is your selection. There's my 5 of spades, meaning this must be your 9 of hearts. And that is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, very easy triumph effect, make sure to stick around. So before I actually get into this, really quick, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know, but these are Blue Bicycle Standard cards. Now, I don't have a deck review on these, because I'm sure everyone owns a deck of these, or at least seen these. So, no deck review, but if you would like one, leave a comment and I will go ahead and do that. And here is the tutorial. So this is a very easy triumph, one of the easiest. So you're going to hand the deck over to the spectator, and they're going to shuffle it. Once they're done shuffling, here's what you're going to do. And I would also recommend that this is done at a table, and you're going to see why for one of the moves. So the spectator can set the deck down, and you explain you want them to cut it about in half and place the other half to the side. So let's say about here. They can add some cards back, it doesn't matter. Once they've done that, they're going to go ahead and actually choose a pile for themselves. Doesn't matter what pile. So let's say we're good here, and let's say the spectator chooses this pile. They're going to take this pile and they're going to hold on to it. And something they can do is they can actually shuffle it if they would like. It doesn't matter. And the spectator can shuffle their pile as well. So after both piles have been shuffled, you explain to the spectator that you're both going to go under the table and make a prediction. Here's what you're going to do. So the spectator, I'm going to go over first because that's the easiest. They're really going to go under the table and they're going to take out a prediction. and you want them to actually look at it and remember it. So in this case, the 8 of clubs, and you want them to place it face down on the table when they're done. So the spectator is going to remember their 8 of clubs. You are going to take your half and you're going to go under the table, and here it is exposed. Once I go under the table, I'm going to flip the half face up, and I'm going to remember this bottom card, in this case the Jack of clubs. Now this is quite easy to do because the spectator is going to be messing with their half. You are going to come right here to the table and you can turn it over, and this hand can be right on your lap, and you can look down and you can see Jack of clubs. Just remember the Jack of clubs, because that will be your selection. So after you remember that, you're going to push off the 2 cards. You're going to turn them face down, and you're going to take the top card. This isn't the Jack of clubs. The spectator thinks this is your selection, but it's not. This is the Jack of clubs, and this is also disguised as the face down half, when in reality it's not. So you're going to come out from under the table, and you're going to have the face down half in your hand and your selection in your other hand. You're going to take the spectator selection first, the 8 of clubs, and you're going to place it somewhere in your half. And I would recommend the magician, you doing it, because if the spectator does it, they might flash these cards. So you can have a tight grip, but not too tight, and you can put it in. And now it's in the half. You're going to take your card, it's not though, and place it somewhere in the spectator's half. And the last part is taking the spectator's deck, turning it face up, and doing a Pharaoh shuffle. Now, I'm not going to teach the Pharaoh because I have a video on it, so I will leave that down below in the description. But something you want to do when doing this Pharaoh shuffle is you want to cover the top card here. Now, you could do the Pharaoh, leave the top card as a face down card, and then cut the deck. But something I like to do is do the Pharaoh shuffle, if I can do it. Let's say right about there. Make sure you don't flash anything. You can push it in. That card is now in the middle of the deck. Now, if the card was on top, they saw face up and face down cards, so they can cut the deck. It doesn't matter. But now you're all set. So you can recap the trick again, snap your fingers, and you can show there's 2 cards that are face down. And these should be the 9 and Jack of clubs, or the 8 and Jack of clubs. And that was the trick. It's not too bad of a trick. I'll go over that really quick one more time for you. So the deck is shuffled, and the spectator can cut it in half. Let's say they cut it here. They're going to choose either half. Let's say this half. They can shuffle if they would like, but once they're done, they're going to go through, they're going to take out a card, and they're going to remember it. In this case, the 5 of spades. And when they're done, they're going to place their card face down with the deck next to it. You're going to take your half, and you're going to go down to the table, and while the spectator is choosing their card and shuffling, you're going to look at the bottom card, in this case the 4 of clubs, and remember it. Push off the top 2 cards and turn them over and come out with that top card. You're now going to take the spectator selection, the 5, and you can put it somewhere in your half and push it in. Just don't flash the face-up cards. The spectator then can take your card and they can bury it somewhere in their half. You're going to take their half of the deck, turn it face up, and now you're going to give these a Pharaoh shuffle. You could give these a tight riffle, you just don't want to flash that everything is face up. And when you do the Pharaoh, you can either leave this card on top and then cut the deck, because you do have face down and face up cards, so it's not gonna be really suspicious. Or you could just cover up this card and it's gonna be in the middle, and then you can do the reveal. So it doesn't look like you actually did anything to the deck. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's say we go ahead and we give these a Pharaoh, just like this. You can talk to the spectator, snap your fingers, and when you spread through the deck, there's 2 cards that are face down, and they should be the 4 of clubs and the 5 of spades. And that was the effect. So I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.